Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the new Future Stars Bruno Guimaraes card. This card came out as an SBC, so I'm going to go through the SBC with you guys to see which one you guys should pick and what one I picked as my preference. We're going to go through the stats, details, clips and summary of that card, and then we're going to go into whether I would recommend it or not, as well as the SBC requirements. But before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what you would like to see next from the Future Stars promo. We do have a bunch in the list, and we do have some extra reviews coming out soon, guys, so please do keep adding to it. And without further ado, let's get into the video. So guys, usually at this point we'd be getting straight into the player and seeing what we think about him on the basic stuff. What we're going to do this time, guys, is we're actually just going to look between the two players, particularly at the player SBC, because we need to look at that and really decide which one we want. And I'm going to tell you guys how I arrived at my end decision, and then you guys can decide for yourselves who you want to pick based on my advice or based on what you want from your team. Now guys, if we just look at the face stats of these two cards first of all. So CDM Bruno 80 pace, CM Bruno 81. 87 dribbling for CDM, 88 for CM. 70 shooting for CDM, 82 for CM. So that's the first big difference there, is the shooting difference between these two cards. Now bear in mind, he is a 6-foot player, so this could be something that really works in your favor in terms of being able to power people off the ball and get shots off. The next big difference comes up right now, guys. 90 defending to 78 defending. That's again a 12-point swing in the defending or the shooting categories. 83 passing to 85 passing, and 86 physical to 80 physical. So on the face of the stats, the Bruno Guimaraes CDM card is 2 total stats ahead of the CM Bruno Guimaraes, which is interesting about this card, guys, because when you look at the total in-game stats, which are directly below that, the CM version comes out slightly higher. So guys, how I managed to do this, and you guys can look through these stats on your own, there are some very key differences, of course. Now, overall, I would say that the differences are very minimal, and the reason I arrived at my choice was this reason purely because you're looking at the players for what value they can add to your team. Now, if you look at that 87 Bruno Guimaraes and you say, okay, I've got a centre midfielder who's not particularly fast, not particularly good at shooting, not very good at passing, a decent dribbler, and not very physically capable for a 6-foot player. Or I look at a player who's not as quick but very, very defensively capable, despite the fact his passing's a bit more meh and his dribbling's relatively similar. That's really where the decision came down to, guys, is what value this player can add to your team. And for me, the CDM Bruno Guimaraes, especially with that 90 defending, can really add a lot more to your team than a player who really doesn't have high meta dribbling or a meta build. He's got a really good build for a CDM card, and I think that's really what you should take advantage of, as well as taking advantage of the fact that one side seems to be significantly more improvable than the other in terms of the 88 dribbling really not being a standout stat for the CM. I don't think that is worth it at all. So my recommendation would be to go with the CDM. We're going to go through the card a little bit, and then we're going to get into the SBC requirements. So let's go to the card itself. So guys, this is the team that I used Bruno Guimaraes in. I played him in a CDM in a 4-2-3-1 next to Sandro Tonali, and boy oh boy, what a partnership that was. And first impressions of this card, guys, is he is absolutely phenomenal to use, and he's just a great value as well, especially for what you're getting out of him. We'll get into the SBC requirements shortly. But overall, guys, I really love this card, so let's just get straight into it. 6-foot high, medium high work rates, right-footed, 3-star swing moves, and 3-star weak foot. So there's one weakness here that I really see from this card, and it is that 3-star weak foot. I wish that was maybe 4-star or even 5-star. I know I'm stretching a lot there and wishing for a lot, but I wish that was at least 4-star to just give him the ability to be able to play with both feet a little better. He doesn't really struggle in the position that he plays in to play in that position, but overall I think that it would be better if he had a 4-star weak foot just in general. 8 games played, 3 goals scored, no assists. Guys, he transitions really well into the attack, surprisingly, this CDM card, and I really love the fact that he did that well. So he's really good at defending and is able to attack as well, which was really a boost, and is why we picked this card over the CM card as well. Getting into the details, guys, I use an engine on him. I think his defense and physical are absolutely fantastic, and I wanted to boost that pace, dribbling, and passing to just make him a bit more techy in the middle of the park, be able to play a bit more with the ball and control the midfield a little better technically. Of course, he is Brazilian in Liga, so you've got some nice links there, especially to players like Rafinha, Neymar, of course, and a bunch of others as well that you can link him into from the Lyon team, such as Memphis Depay. We'll get more into linkability in the summary. Getting into his attribute details, guys, the key standout ones here are his physicality and his defending attributes. 92 stand tackle, 91 defensive awareness, 91 interceptions, 88 stamina, 85 strength, and 87 aggression. Those are the real pros of this card. He does have decent passing, however, I do feel that a con of this card is the long pass. I feel like that's a bit of a lie. His long passing doesn't feel that good, and he has a weird way of playing it where it's very flat and very easy for defenders to intercept. It's not as clean as Tonali's passing. So I definitely would say that that's a con of this card. Another con, of course, guys, is the speed. Generally with the meta and how things are, he needs to be a little bit quicker, but you can fix that with the chemistry style to a certain extent. You can even put a bit more focus on it rather than I did, which I only put an engine, so only boost it slightly. You could put something else on him to really boost that up. A catalyst would help his passing out a little bit and help his speed out tremendously. And finally, guys, another con of this card is the agility. A little bit clunky in the midfield, but again, with that chemistry style boost, you can amend that to make him feel a little bit smoother in the midfield and allow him to move a bit more freely. Finally, getting into the player traits outside the foot shot trait. Now, this isn't that useful considering he isn't much of a striker of the ball. I mean, I did score some goals with him, but overall, I'm not looking to attack with this player. It just so happened that the opportunities presented themselves, and you guys will see those clips as they pop up. It really did start from his tackling and then driving through the entire team and scoring with some passing along the way. Long passer is a decent trait, but again, with that long passing and the way the animation works, I don't really feel like this is a good trait on this card. I wish he had some other traits as well. Maybe a playmaker trait would be very nice. But otherwise, guys, nothing really to shout home about. And now, without further ado, now that we've covered all of that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into the requirements for the SBCs, before we get into the clips, guys, I just wanted to share this with you. 148k for Ligue 1 squad and 84k for a Brazilian squad. Now, total SBC cost 232. Now, guys, that is expensive for this card. It's only an 87 rated card. He is a decent defensive midfielder, but he is not a game-breaking defensive midfielder. He's just very good at what he does. Now, what you're really paying for here is one Ligue 1 links to Neymar, Rafinha, and Memphis, players like that. That's really what you're paying for. Hussein Aouar is in that category as well. Guys, overall, would I say this SBC is worth it? In my opinion, I think it is. I think it gives you a nice option, especially when you see how he plays, guys. I think you'll be quite surprised with how good he actually is in terms of the game. His defensive positioning, his tackling, his interceptions, all of that stuff that you really want to see from a CDM, he does really well, and he's so physically capable as well because, again, of that size and taking advantage of that size and putting him in the CDM role. I think he really does suit that, and therefore that makes this card worth it. I think if you pick the CM version, 232k is definitely not worth that. You can pick up a million players, not a million literally, but quite a lot of players better than him for that price. So that's why I think that this card is better suited to the CDM as well, especially for value to game output value as well. Now that we've covered all that, guys, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Bruno Guimaraes clips here, and what you guys are going to see is his ability to both play the defensive side and the attacking side, guys. He is so good at both, surprisingly so in the attacking side, given that he isn't actually that gifted in that department on the face of his stats. Now guys, of course, the main thing about this card, which I do want to show you, of course, is his tackling and his physicality in that midfield. He really does get stuck in, wins the ball well, and distributes the ball really well as well. Not as good as Tonali, but with a boost, he is more than capable of passing the ball around crisply and effectively to be able to get you the ball moved around your midfield into those attackers and get your chances going. Here again, guys, you see I'm driving him forward right there, making the little 1-2 passes, taking it through on goal and getting a shot off. Unfortunately, not able to finish there, but that's the kind of plays where he would get forward from me. Most of the time, he was able just to get involved in breaking up the play, stopping attacks, even the fouls, things like that. I want to show you guys that so you guys can see how to use this player most effectively. Guys, I think overall, compared to the central midfielder as well, what you'll get in the central midfielder is you'll get slightly more capability in terms of quickness on the ball, but overall, guys, it won't be enough, I don't think, to be able to unseat players who you might be able to get in the future for a lot cheaper. I don't think that card is really worth picking up, especially when there will be other cards coming out or other cards available very soon. There could be a headliner Rafinha upgrade anytime as well. So guys, I think this is definitely the card to pick up in terms of picking between those two. Now guys, another thing I wanted to talk about as well was his general positioning. As well as being so clean in the tackle and so strong and physically capable, you guys can see here from a lot of the clips is his starting position in a lot of these clips is fantastic, and that's what allows him to be able to be so effective again there, just going into the right spot, picking up the ball without too much fuss, without any drama, and just winning the ball back easily. Again, taking off the attackers, and those are attackers like Neymar, there's Cruyff's in there, you know, there's a whole bunch of different types of attackers, Mbappe's. He's just starting in the right position, and that allows him to seamlessly transition into your defense and pick up that ball without committing a foul or without doing something stupid or needing to run back, because bear in mind guys, he does not have a lot of pace, so you need the defensive awareness on this card to be high, and thankfully it is. I mean, it's just the right amount for me. I mean, look at that tackle there, absolutely sensational slide tackle, strong on the edge of the box, getting in to the player there and making sure he wins the ball. How's that for a ball as well, guys? Unfortunately, the ball goes out of play. And now you guys are going to see a couple of clips where he managed to score goals for me. And this was actually probably the most surprising thing, guys, was that he was able to do this. I did not expect him to be able to finish any chances for me, but somehow or other he was able to do that. That's a lovely ball in there. Now his positioning was fantastic there, takes up a good position and finishes. And in the final clip here, a smash from distance. How's that? So guys, getting into the final Bruno Guimaraes summary, and of course he is 232 on the PlayStation, 230 on the Xbox as well. I don't know why that's not updating, but we'll leave that be for the time being. We've already reviewed the price and all that stuff as well. In terms of the key stats, of course guys, his defensive ability is absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly recommend picking this card up purely for that. I mean, look at those defensive stats even without any chemistry style boosts. I then stuck an engine on him to give him that boost to his dribbling, his passing and his speed. But of course you could look a little more linearly and pick his pace and passing just to really give him that ability to control the midfield, maybe like Sandro Tonali does. That might really help him as well. Alternatively, guys, you could just make him a super aggressive and strong defender with an anchor chemistry style. I think my favorite one for you guys, I still recommend the engine to give him just that general ability around the whole part of the game that you need him to be involved in, especially in the middle of the park where you need him to control it a little more, and he only has that 3-star weak foot. I would like his passing to be stronger so he doesn't muck up as many passes in that regard as well. Guys, getting into the similar sort of players now, there are a few players who I would say is similar to this guy. Delaney is a very good shout. I think Delaney has obviously better work rates, but in terms of overall capability, I don't think they're that far off. I don't think this Guimaraes shooting is that bad. I think he's actually pretty decent with his shooting. And you'll see that in some of the clips. He scored some absolute bangers for me, and that was really surprising as well, was that he was able to do that. So that was a nice surprise to have in the card. I think that's a very good shout in terms of similar players. Finally, in terms of linkability, now of course you've got the perfect link to Lucas Paqueta and Marcelo in Lyon. But if you go to these other links here, you've got the links to Neymar, you've got the links to all these Brazilian icons as well as Marquinhos, and you're picking up other links to Memphis Depay and Houssem Aouar, other players like that as well. So you've got some really good link ability there too. Overall, guys, would I recommend doing this card? This is a very close one to being the right value. I think if the value of this SBC was sitting at around 180 to 190 for the CDM card, I would say 100% do this SBC. I think he's 100% worth that price. 230 to 240k, that's starting to get to the level where you'd expect the CDM to be game changing in some way. Now, that's not to say this card isn't. I think this card's fantastic. I think it's very capable of changing a game and really running a game and taking control of a game, especially when you feel like it's getting away from you. It's really nice to have a player that can do that. However, I don't know if he's worth 240k to everyone. It may also be only specifically because of my style of play that he suits that 240k price tag. I thought he was 100% worth it for me, and that's why I did him as soon as he came out as well. That is it for this review, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, please do smash that like button, and until next time, I'll see you all in a bit.